Diana appears as a new prisoner in Litchfield Women's Prison at the beginning of the movie. They'll refer to her as Dia. Many ladies gaze at her and the other two new prisoners as they approach the entrance. An old prisoner emerges as Mel unlocks the door. Mel sends the three new ladies to be processed after cautioning them to be on her good side. The guards are having issues with the camera when Piper Chapman gets her ID. Bennett, the younger guard, attempts to make things right. When Piper notices a cord that isn't plugged in, she inquires as to whether the other guard should do it. Later, Mendez orders her to remain still and silent. Morell keeps taking the new group on tours. When will they get beige clothes like the other prisoners? DIA queries. An imprisoner approaches DIA, gives her a facial smack, and turns away. After that, Mel takes Dia and Piper to their room as they wait to be put in the dormitories. Later, one of the other prisoners chastises Dia for not speaking Spanish. Dia runs into her mother, Al Diaz, who had hit her the day before. Marissa, another lady who claims to be Al's daughter, swears at DIA. Al cautioned Dia not to ask for additional khakis too quickly and declined to give her any. Once Dia steps out of her orange jumpsuit on the stairway, she claims that she will be forgotten. Officer Bennett declines to give Dia any gum since he is not allowed to be biased. When Dia questions if he doesn't like her, he just turns to go. He is obviously fond of Dia, and later on, when she climbs to her bunk at nightfall, it becomes even more evident that they are flirting. The next day, she grins in the guard booth after discovering a piece of gum beneath her pillow. Nation Bennett is questioned by Mendez about his experiences in Afghanistan and the treatment of women there. Bennett claims that their lives were difficult in the past due to frequent crying visits from Russian females. Bennett asks whether Mendez gets involved with any of the ladies here, and Mendez boasts that since they've been locked up for so long, all of the women want him. During their chat, Mendez states that it is against the rules. Later, Dia passes by while Bennett is going about keeping watch. He is called to their cubicle by a prisoner who tells him that Dia is not permitted to hang photos on the wall. Bennett informs the prisoner she may leave the image up after praising it and describing it as a beautiful work of art. Dia smiles at this. The next day, as Dia tries to put on her uniform, her necklace gets caught. Fortunately, Bennett appears and offers to assist. She gratefully accepts his offer. They both laugh. Bennett's increasing attraction to DIA is evident in this very emotional exchange. Bennett is pacing the perimeter the next day when an alarm goes off. However, it is declared over the radio to be a false alarm. He takes a tin from the tobacco shack, inserts a Lowe's beneath his mouth. When he discovers Dia still in her supine position, he notifies her that the alarm has been canceled, allowing her to get to her feet. Bennett says he's attempting to give up smoking, while Dia says she uses menthol. He assists her in placing one beneath her lip when she begs to sample one. She quickly spits it out, however, since she finds it repulsive. After Dia is seen fighting with her mother, Bennett sees something lodged in her teeth and helps her get it out, which causes both to get emotional. Later on, she offers her some grain to exchange for essentials. Bennett discovers her en route and informs her that it is forbidden for prisoners to exchange goods with one another. Holding her hand, he puts a letter into her pocket. Assuming the corn was seized in front of the other prisoners, Dia reads the message, takes a tissue, and heads to the restroom. Bennett says he feels under a lot of pressure to discipline the girls more severely. She finds a chewing gum piece left for her later when she gets to their agreed-upon meeting spot. Bennett's spirits rise when he finds her message with a photo of himself in it. Dia's mother is seated next to her, and she's already seeing the love letters that Dia exchanges with Bennett. Her mother says she should think about dating correctional officers who will stand by her instead of those who won't help her. Bennett discovers a DIA message asking to meet in the utility closet tomorrow. When he gets to the utility closet, he is shocked to see the clock ticking away as he excitedly awaits the rendezvous in his guard booth. He discovers Dia's mother in the yard, fully nude. Dia slaps her mother in response to her accusation that she is being exploitative and is attempting to seduce Bennett. Bennett is cautioned to keep strong limits with the prisoners in order to prevent conflict, while Caputo questions the counselor in his office over a potential mobile phone in Lincoln. He may get into major problems for anything as simple as smiling at the wrong moment. Afterwards, DM runs into Bennett in a janitor's closet, and he tries to break them up since it's improper and might jeopardize his career. Bennett tells Dia that he still feels the same way, even if she wonders whether they had an intimate relationship with her mother. The two share a kiss. Despite his initial humiliation over his prosthetic limb, Dia continues to start oral sex with him, pulling down his trousers to display it. Dia gives him a tender kiss at the security booth to show that she accepts him. Mendez notices Bennett smiling and asks why. Bennett playfully implies that he may have had a connection with someone. His troubled attitude shows that he may have been aware of his relationship with Dia in an effort to allay Mendez's suspicions. Bennett makes up a tale in which the lady is described as half Brazilian and half Asian. Then, as daily meds are being given, a flu epidemic quickly sweeps across Litchfield, making the majority of the prisoners unwell. Dia throws up into a nearby garbage can. In case Dia becomes ill again, her mother fetches her a bucket. Dia says she expects to get well soon since other prisoners have recovered. But her mother says differently, hinting that Dia's illness is different and will get better in 9 months, which means that Dia is pregnant. The next day, Gloria is seen chopping some herbs for Dia, who laments the unpleasant fragrance. Gloria promises that the concoction will assist her in terminating the pregnancy, but given Dia's continued severe illness, the concoction doesn't appear to be working. When her mother arrives later, she informs Dia that she will not let her to carry out her plan in the mess hall. Bennett, who doesn't know what's going on, looks at Dia. She makes the decision to retain the child, but she wants to know how they can make sure he doesn't cause problems. Her mom promises to come up with a strategy. Caesar eventually stops by Bennett's flat and introduces himself as a Diaz-related. Bennett finds out that Dia is pregnant when he inquires about the baby's living arrangements. He runs into Dia at their meeting place and begins to gripe about Caesar showing up at his home, even though Dia assures him it had nothing to do with it. Dia, who is joined by Al, refuses to take the pill when Bennett asks if there is one she can take to get rid of it. Bennett fears that if the system finds out that he slept with Dia, both of them may face disciplinary punishment. He clarifies that the infection he had from a cut he sustained while stupefied in a filthy hot tub in Florida is what caused his prosthetic limb, which was first believed to be from his stint in Afghanistan. Al cautions him to begin saving and making plans for the kid, as well as how to explain Dia's pregnancy. Claiming he has 9 months subsequent, Bennett meets with Dia and her mother in the utility closet, offering to help Dia get out of jail so he can hide his tracks. But Dia's mother notes that it will take longer than anticipated for this to happen. Together with Gloria and Al, Red comes up with a solution to deal with Dia's pregnancy situation. On a boys' night out at a pub, Red pushes Dia to have a sexual relationship with Mendez and then tell people he is the father of her child. Mendez admits to Bennett that he has sentiments and emotions and expresses his displeasure at being treated like an object by the prisoners. Later on, when Bennett runs into Dia in the yard, he unintentionally brings up Mendez's grievances from the bar. Dia takes advantage of this and asks Mendez about his day and how he manages to remain focused. Mendez talks about the mental workouts he undertakes to keep himself busy. When she seduces Mendez, the scheme goes bad, and he uses protection, pocketing it after they're done. Red informs her that she will need to repeat the process. Menda begins to feel attracted to her and even approaches her in the mess hall, saying in a low voice that he wishes they could see each other again. Saying that she heard sobbing in the utility closet, a prisoner approaches Caputo. When Caputo opens the closet, he hears Dia and Mendez talking about Tanzania. Dia and Bennett converse in the yard. Mendez will be recognized as her baby's father. Thus, according to Dia, everything is well now. She had an affair with Mendez in an attempt to set Bennett up, which has Bennett furious. Bennett is still unhappy, but Dia claims she did it because she loves him. The scheme is successful, and Mendez is expelled from Litchfield for a while. Mendez asks Bennett whether he handed his memo to Dia when he returns to the jail later to pick up his salary. While Dia is wiping the cafeteria tables, Mendez, who is beginning to fall for her, muses of a future with her. Bennett implies that she must have done well when he informs her that Mendez is in love with her. When Dia inquires as to Bennett's opinion on her enjoyment, he replies that Mendez did like it, but now feels uncomfortable in her presence. Bennett believes that Mendez is the father of the child. Therefore, he says Mendez can take care of it. Bennett is concerned about losing his job and how they'll explain the pregnancy, but Dia is eager to do a DNA test. Dia maintains that she despises Mendez and is in love with Bennett leaves the next day, declaring that the scheme was a mistake. Dia practices her dancing routine for the pageant with 2 other prisoners. Bennett observes and orders them to return to work, but they argue that it's the holidays and they should just unwind. Bennett hears them talking and instructs them to stop talking. And Convict unlocks the oven and it catches fire, causing an explosion. Then another prisoner extinguishes the flames with an extinguisher. Bennett asks DIA how she's doing, noting that they both seem rattled. He strokes her face to show her that he still loves her in spite of all that has happened with Mendez. I'm grateful you looked. Remind yourself to subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.